Dear children, good morning. After Deepavali holidays, I am meeting you this week to continue our non-detailed lesson number 6 entitled The Making of a Scientist. Richard E. Bright started his research with collecting different kinds of butterflies that we saw last week. He found out the difference between two butterflies. One is monarch, the second one is viceroy, and that project was placed in the zoology division and third overall in the country science fair. In page number 35 I stopped. Now we will continue the second part of the non-detailed lesson. Of course, it's very important lesson about a scientist. In page number 36, in his second year in high school, Richard E. Bright began the research that led to his discovery of an unknown insect hormone. Of course, he found out a hormone. Indirectly, it also led to his new theory on the life of cells. He made a wonderful new research in biology. The question he tried to answer was very simple. What is the purpose of the 12 tiny gold spots on a monarch pupa? There were dots, golden spots on the body of a butterfly. What is the purpose of it? That was the question. Everyone assumed the spots were just ornamental. It is somewhat design by which butterflies are looking very beautiful. But E. Bright said, but Dr. Urquhart didn't believe it. To find the answer, E. Bright and another excellent science student first had to build a device, a tool, that showed that the spots were producing a hormone necessary for the butterfly's full development. That is what they built a device that will show how the golden spots producing a hormone that gives a full-fledged growth for the butterfly. This project won E. Bright a first place in the country fair and entry into the International Science and Engineering Fair. There he won third place for zoology. Zoo. He also got a chance to work during the summer at the entomology laboratory of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. He started working in the Army Institute's laboratory. That is entomology, studying about the insects. Study, entomology, study of insects. As a high school junior, Richard E. Bright continued his advanced experiments on the monarch pupa. That year, his project won first place at the International Science Fair and gave him another chance to work in the Army laboratory during the summer. In his senior year, he went a step further. His research was slowly developing. He grew cells from a monarch's wing in a culture and showed that the cells would divide and develop into normal butterfly wing scales only if they were fed the hormone from the gold spots. He was making the discovery that gold spots are producing hormone and that is giving normal development of butterfly. That project won first place for zoology at the International Fair. He spent the summer after graduation doing further work at the Army laboratory and at the laboratory of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The following summer, after his freshman year at Harvard University, he joined there. Harvard University, one of the most important university in the world. Ebright went back to the laboratory of the Department of Agriculture and did more and more work on the hormone from the gold spots. Using the laboratory's sophisticated instruments, very sophisticated means advanced instruments, devices, he was able to identify the hormone's chemical structure. A year and a half later, that is 1.5 years later, during his junior year, Ebright got the idea for his new theory about cell life. It came while he was looking at X-ray photos of the chemical structure of a hormone. He was going through the photos of chemical structure. He got the idea for his new theory about the cell life. When he saw those photos, he found out something, but he did not shout Eureka, Eureka. You know this word, I found out. The meaning of that word is, I found out. Or even I have got it. He did not shout. But he believed that along with his findings about insect hormones, the photos gave him the answer to one of biology's puzzles. Yes, that day is the very important day. He found out the answer for one of the important questions of biology. How the cell can read the blueprint of its DNA. DNA report is very important nowadays. The DNA is the substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls heredity. We are getting color, our quality, our character from our great-grandparents. All this happens because of the DNA. It is actually a substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls our heredity. It determines the form and function of the cell. Thus, DNA is the blueprint for life. That is a wonderful discovery made by Richard Ebright. Ebright and his college roommate James R. Wong worked all that night drawing pictures and constructing plastic models of molecules to show how it could happen. Together, they later wrote the paper that explained the theory. Both of them made a research theory paper. Surprising no one who knew him, Richard Ebright graduated from Harvard University with the highest honors, second in his class of 1,510 students. Ebright went on to become a graduate student researcher at Harvard Medical School. There he began doing experiments to test his theory. He made a lot of experiments. If the theory proves correct, it will be a big step towards understanding the processes of life. It might also lead to new ideas for preventing some types of cancer and other diseases. It was a wonderful discovery finding out. All of this is possible because of Ebright's scientific curiosity. Children, we all should have that curiosity. Success is equal to C cube. Curiosity, confidence and courage. Here, scientific curiosity was with Ebright. His high school research into the purpose of the spots on a monarch pupa eventually led him to his theory about cell life. Richard Ebright has been interested in science since he first began collecting butterflies. There it started, his curiosity, collecting butterflies, but not so deeply that he has not time for other interest. He did not show interest in anything else. Ebright also became a champion debater and public speaker and a good canoeist. All these things grew along with him and all around outdoor person. He became a good speaker also. He is also an expert photographer, particularly of nature and scientific exhibits. In high school, Richard Ebright was a straight A-grade student. Because learning was easy, he turned a lot of his energy towards the debating and Model United Nations clubs. And he also found someone to admire, Richard E. Wieherer, his social studies teacher and advisor to both clubs. Mr. Vihar was the perfect person for me then. He opened my mind to new ideas. A teacher, a perfect person, perfect teacher only opened the high mind of Richard E. Bright. Richard E. Bright himself declared that. Richard would always give that extra effort. The teacher also declared, Mr. Vihar said, what pleased me was, here was this person who put in 3 or 4 hours at night doing debate research besides doing all his research with butterflies and his other interest. Richard was competitive. The teacher, Mr. Vihar, continued, but not in a bad sense. He explained. Richard, the next quotation is very, very important, children. Underline them in your book. Read it again and again, which is very, very useful for your future life. Richard was not interested in winning for winning's sake or winning to get a prize. Rather, he was winning because he wanted to do the best job he could. That is whatever work we do, we must do the work not for winning the prize, not for winning appreciation even. We must do the work to the level best. That is what wonderful reason. For the right reasons, he wants to be the best. That underline those 3 sentences. Very, very important theory behind a successful man. And that is one of the ingredients in the making of a scientist. Start with your first-rate mind and curiosity and mix in the willpower to win for the right reasons. E. Bright has wonderful all these qualities. That is why he has become a wonderful scientist. From the time the book The Travels of Monarch 10, that is the book which opened the world of science to him. A book can change the entire life course of a person. So we must read lot of books in which area we are very much interested. Richard E. Bright has never lost his scientific curiosity. That is the end of the lesson written by Robert E. Peterson. A wonderful story entitled Making of a Scientist. Okay. After learning the lesson, given summary in your pink color guide given to you, read the summary immediately and we will meet very soon in the school. I hope you all have celebrated Deepavali very well. Next week I will teach prose lesson number 8, Mujbil the Otter. It's all about animal. Okay. See you children. All the best.